Hello ladies and gents. Today we are looking at the TX-130 Sabre class fighter tank. Quite a mouthful. In short, just Sabres. As you can see, we've got three different variants of the same tank. We'll go through a little bit of information on them now. They're manufactured by Rathana Heavy Engineering. It's a class repulsor tank. As you can see, there's no wheels underneath it. It does have light shielding and light ablative armor plating. So, in fact, I'll go on its roles a bit later. It has, well, as you can see, we have three different variants. This is the most common variant in the middle here, hence why it's here. As you can see, it's got two heavy laser cannons on the side here, as well as a beam cannon on the front here. Now, the beam cannon that you see on these two tanks has been modified in this mod. We're using the community mod once again. It works like a Z6 rotary, so whilst it's not a constant beam, it's very useful. Now, it can be changed, the beam on top, to an ordnance launcher. In this case, in this mod, it can fire heat rounds, AP rounds, so extremely versatile. This heavy tank here is effective, combat effective up to 2 kilometers. However, as it's lightly shielded and lightly armored, it's not designed to sit there and just take fire. It's designed to sit there and shoot and move. Same with all these tanks. Mainly used as anti-armor, anti-fortification, anti-infantry, or as a escort. And yeah, affiliated with the Republic, of course, and later used by the Galactic Empire. So it saw long-term usage, these Sabre tanks. We'll go have a play. So what we'll do before we hop in the tank and have a look around, I'll set us up with a target. So what we'll do, we'll set ourselves up on a nice hill. What's a nice hill? We might actually clear up some of this fog too so you can see what I'm saying. We'll do an advanced weather change. No fog. We'll make it completely clear. Don't mind a bit of wind. Fog's still taking a while to roll out. Alright, so in fact we can probably do it just on this beach here. So we'll put some enemy armor over here. For the sake of the conversation, we'll put down its equivalent, which is an AAT. We'll make it a dummy target for now. And what I'll also do, just to show you its combat effectiveness, we'll put in just some droids in here. In fact, we might put the droids down over here. Just give us a bit of distance over on this island. Just some normal battle droids, just so you can see how it works. And I did bring my earplugs this time, so we won't go deaf when we use it. Won't that be nice? Alright, so what I'll do is I'll create these as objectives, actually. So we'll group those guys into a squad. And then we'll say, objectives, neutralize. I don't think that worked. There we go, neutralize the B1s. I know that's a rushed objective, but it's what it'll do, it'll give you the range, and we'll neutralize this one here. So I'll show you what you all want to see first, which is the Big Bantha. Thank you to Marco for making these wonderful 985th skins. They do look very nice. Very, very nice. There's our acclimator up top there. Alright, so we can just see our objective over there in the distance. If I pulled out my rangefinder, range it in, it's not going to give me the range. Why would it? So let's do this instead. Set as assign. No, I want you to assign that. I want that to be our active. There we go. So that's 1.1 Ks. We'll hop in as the gunner. So this is the first person view. At the moment we have armor piercing rounds, which is 120 mils. Now, the way these work, if you've got a numpad on your keyboard, use the plus and minus, and you'll zoom in. Once you've zoomed in, you can zero the target by pressing T, and that'll give you your range. So these work on like a laser guide, where instead of locking on, what it does, it calibrates the barrel. So you can see down the bottom there, my tack shack's kind of in the way, but 1125 is the distance, and that's what it's locked on to. And we click the trigger. Yeah, that doesn't look like it worked. Aim down a bit. Not sure what's going on there. Okay, so that's hitting. Okay, so we are getting hits. We'll try changing over to a heavy explosive anti-armor round. So we'll reload those rounds. Zero the target. That's better. That was a good solid hit. So you can see we're doing damage to that tank. You can see the armor rolling off of it. Bang, there we go. So 3 hits with a heat round, and that AAT is done. Alright, so it's pretty versatile. You can't aim very high up, but a normal heat round, which is this one here, is designed for groups of infantry. So you do have to remember to change your ammo, and to do that I'm just rolling this wheel mouse and picking the ammo that I want. So an AP round, it's supposed to be armor piercing, so what happens is the shell is designed to go through the armor of your opponent to take out the driver, gunner, commander, and then your high explosive tank round is designed to hit the outside of the shell and go boom. As we hear that AAT still going boom. Alright, let's hop in the driver's seat. It's not much of a view. That's all you get. That's all you get. Now, I'll show you how these things maneuver. Now what I'll do is I'll give myself a little 985th mate. So we'll go to where we are. No, I'm not going to be able to give myself a 985th mate. Well, okay, we're going to have to work at getting those so I can load AI. Come on, mate. Clone Trooper, we'll just get a normal DC-15A.
Standing by.
Nope, that's explosive. Helps if I read it.
Awaiting orders.
I'll assign him to me. Alright, we'll hop in.
Understood.
So what I've just done there is I've used the tilde button, which is a button next to your 1, and then told him to hop in. That can be covered in some of the armor things. Equipment, plug in. Alright, so I'll turn this bad boy on. Now in this one you can see that I've got armor piercing tank rounds. I don't like using them because I don't think they quite work. I'll give you an example once I move forward from these guys. I'll just fire one round so you can hear it. See, I'm hurt already. So if I go medical, it's not going to give me a... That's annoying. But that put me in pain, as you can see by my screen going white. So I don't like using those cannons for that very reason. Now, when you've got open terrain, I've got no problem with using this at top speed. Now these are not the most manoeuvrable vehicles in the game. They don't like turning. So I don't recommend using it at maximum speed in towns. In towns I'd recommend dropping down to 40, even 30 kilometers an hour. Also watch your spacing. If you're ever in a motorcade, which is made up of multiple vehicles for those that don't know what motorcade is, what will happen is two things. If you're too close together, first thing that can happen is if an enemy armor or ordnance is fired at your platoon, if you're too close together, a vehicle that gets destroyed or damaged may end up damaging your vehicle as well. So you don't want to get too close. Second thing that can happen is something in armor, which I'm sure all of us who play multiplayer know about, is desync. So when you're traveling at high speed, keep 100 meter spread, no closer, don't risk it. When you're traveling in towns, you can minimize that down to 50 or 40 depending on what you're doing. Again, don't get too close. You don't want to cop damage from someone else's vehicle being destroyed. This is a perfect example of how bad this maneuvers. I'm turning hard left. That's hard left, and I've slowed right down to do this. We'll have another good one down here. So yeah, this is the Sabre tank. This will get used a fair bit. Make yourself familiar with the handling of the vehicle before you drive one on the server. Can't stress that enough. They don't drive nicely. It's not like driving a normal APC in Arma. A few things you can do is you can set the speed. So if I was to go into a town, what I would do, I want to go right here, sorry. Being distracted by my own talking. Sorry, checker. So let's set it to 39. I cannot go any faster than 39 now. So that's by pressing delete. Delete sets my speed limiter. I can now go no faster than 39. You can see that we're not going very fast. I would argue that this is a safe and controlled speed in a town. Now you're probably wondering why I gave myself a little clone buddy up on top. Those with astute eyes will realise that he is completely undefended. That is probably the worst spot to sit on a tank. The idea behind it was that it would give the gunner full 360 degree visual. So one of those things where the pro is that you got full visibility, the con is that you're completely undefended. You can be killed from that spot and it won't take much. Alright, so we're going to close in on our opponents over here. Now one thing I'm going to talk about with Arma is a thing that we call silhouetting. When you silhouette, I can see them, can he? So I'm going to give him an order to engage. There we go. So you can hear he's already engaging. Now look at that spread. That's shock and spread. And he's probably going to die now. So you want to keep moving, but you don't want to stay still. That made no sense. You want to keep moving. The reason for that is your gun is getting shot. If you sit still, he's an easy target. You move, he's harder to hit. Now, the other thing you want to be careful of is the fact that the faster you move, the harder it is for them to aim. There you go. Look at that. Yeah. Ineffective.
35 meters. Right.
There we go. There's the B1s. So you can see the guns on the side here. They're forward facing. The idea that they weren't able to articulate left or right was because they believed that the tank was more than capable of maneuvering itself to a stage where it didn't need. They thought it was agile enough to turn left and right on the spot rather than need those turrets. Now unfortunately you can't do that on Arma. If they put it on tracks then that would work, but they haven't. So you're stuck with an APC format, which means it only moves forward when you tell it to, it only turns when you move forward or back. Seems to hurt, which is annoying. They're nice models. I got no problems with them. Like the way the pulses work. Just got to be careful how you move them. So yeah, that's the Sabre tank. Again, I would ask that you become familiar with it before you drive it in one of the 985th missions, only because it is not maneuverable, it is not agile, it has got a very poor turning circle, and we would rather you be efficient in using one of these before you operate it in a combat situation. Alright, thank you everyone for watching. See you later.